play the live thing, I think.
Right, we are live.
I think we're live, pal.
Yeah.
Give me a second. There we go. Come on.
Kicking way to do so. Can it's him. Back to Balotelli. It runs for Aguero. They do it!
Hazard still on the ground as Charlie Adam goes for goal here. Oh, and he scored!
And was by Stones. Andrew Townsend! A field of minutes. And Aaron Ramsey starts and ends. An immaculate. Trying to find a way through.
Well, there you go. That was done in a bit of a different way than usual. But yes, welcome to Golden Goal. Yes, we are back for the preview show for the Premier League. And we've got an interesting one coming up. Hopefully all our guests have arrived. We shall check that in a minute. Let's get on with the panel. We've got... now, I wonder who you're playing this weekend, Abdi.
Hello. Is it?
Hello.
Was that me? Sorry, everything's
Yes,
crackly. I can't really hear it. Yeah, no, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Right, this is a good start to the show. This is George back
Very
on
good
the show.
start.
How's it going?
I'm going to switch over quickly.
I'm all good, thanks, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, all good. All good. We didn't want to lose the link, so we went live. Is Dan here still? Or is Dan here yet?
Not at the moment, no.
Right. We're still waiting for Dan, but yes, we've got a Liverpool fan and a Man United fan on the show today, hopefully anyway. So yes, what could possibly go wrong, hey? Yeah, it's what I would like to see. Right, so...
All right, I can hear you now. That's better.
Excellent. So we've got most of our guests, so we'll get on with previewing the games, and then Dan will join us shortly. So let's get on with the first game. So, George, Spurs, I mean, we know what happened last time. Let's not talk about any more than we have done already. They play Wolves. Wolves who, well, they picked up 1 point out of the possible 6. What's going to happen?
Yeah, the Wolves might as well not even bother turning up. They can't score, so Tottenham will probably win that quite easy. Wolves are they're like a blunt knife. They just got enough. I think Jimenez is injured as well, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Still. So, unfortunately, I don't see anything but a Spurs win, but hopefully I'm wrong.
Well, no bite for Wolves, it seems. Abdi, what do you think?
I disagree a little bit, but I do agree in the sense that they don't really have a bite at the moment. But I disagree in the sense that I think it's going to be an easy win for Spurs because playing Wolves is never easy for them. They in recent meetings, Wolves have gotten the best of them, and just go back to the game they had last time at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah.
I think Dendoncker was the one who scored both their goals. So it's not just about Jimenez. I know Jimenez is the main man, but someone can get a goal from. It doesn't just have to be him. Yeah, hopefully. But I don't think it's going to be as clear cut as George was making it out to seem. So I think Wolves give them a good game. And yeah, Antonio Conte won't be there. That's for the thing. Touchline ban for him.
Jermaine
It's a
Defoe
win game as well. Jermaine Defoe. Well, they'll probably be better off with Jermaine Genius. That's not really an upgrade, but I'll take that
Defoe's a
back.
new coach, isn't he? So
Is he actually?
Yeah, I won't take in the mix. I think
he'll be the assistant coach. He'll be the assistant coach, whoever's the assistant. I don't know who that is, but yeah. But yeah, no, I don't think it's going to be as clear cut as it sounds. It's always a tough game, especially a 12:30 game. It's always an interesting one. You don't see. I don't know. You don't see. Do you see smashings? I don't know. But 12:30 is always interesting.
Yeah, not often, I guess, for 12:30. Let's go for Matt. What do you think will happen?
It's an interesting one, really, because
Please
as it's
say
been
Tottenham to win.
Funnily enough, in our predictor, I've actually put them down to win. So
That means they might win now.
this is the thing: is that you see where they are at the moment, and can Conte keep it up? But obviously, Conte's not going to be that. Well, he'll probably be somewhere in the stands, maybe behind in with the prawn brigade, prawn sandwich brigade, even watching it. Maybe might have the AirPods on just to let people know he's in the building.
I don't think they can afford AirPods at Tottenham. And then normal headphones.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Wired ones.
Long extension of the what was it? The cup and the wire.
Yes, the cup.
Yeah, maybe just one of those. Right. So before we carry on, we've got 2 comments. So, good evening from Tom. And
hello, Tom.
Everyone's favourite Goonerette, Lottie. 1 hug, 2 hug, or more. I love it.
Hello, Lottie. How's it going?
Lottie Lempert. I thought it would be changed, Abdi.
I thought it'd be changed as well, but clearly not. That's right. No worries. We can keep it
changed.
The title.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Hey ho. We progress. Has Dan joined us later?
Not yet.
No Dan.
No Dan's yet.
Let's see. The next game on the list is Everton Forest. Now, Abdi, this is going to be an interesting one because Everton winless. Forest picked up a great win, and obviously they've bought them 50,000 players. So yeah, should be an interesting game. That. What do you think?
Yeah, it is a big game for Everton. They need to get to kicking, or they'll be left behind. They had a struggling start, sort of a lucky escape from the relegation battle they were in last season. They need to try and kick on and avoid that situation. The more losses that they take, the more unrestful Everton will get in terms of their fan base, and the more pressure will be on Frank Lampard. How many losses is he going to take before he's gone? The 3rd game in, if they lose this one to Forest at home, there'll probably be some pressure on him. But still early doors. It's away. It's home for Everton, so they usually have a good atmosphere. So I don't know. It's going to be a difficult game for Forest as well. Everton aren't leaking massive amounts of goals. They were the makers of their own downfall a little bit against Villa, and the Chelsea one was just a penalty. So they're just a bit blunt up front, just like Wolves a little bit. But I probably even more.
Even know it.
Yeah, even more so than Wolves though. But yeah, Nottingham Forest, they're going crazy. They're with all the recruits they're bringing in. I think it's 16 now with Morgan Gibbs-White. That disgusting bid of 45 million, absolute madness. But
is that how much it was?
Yeah, it was like 45 million as a whole package. Mate, there's different numbers floating about. Some people said it was
14.5 million.
No.
No wonder people are going crazy because I was like, it's only 14.5 million. 40 million for a Swansea reserve.
Morgan Gibbs, right? Absolute madness. But yeah, the amount of people that they're bringing in, they should expect to be staying up, and it's a statement. It's a statement from them, the amount of money they're spending, but it could also backfire. We've seen it happen before when the team comes up and they go willy-nilly with their spending. Fulham, QPR, but hopefully Forest, they stay up because I like Forest.
Jesus Christ, 45.
Unbelievable, Jeff. Sorry, George.
That is definitely an unbelievable Jeff moment. 45.
So will Toffees be still stuck in the bottom area of the table tomorrow?
Yeah. I just don't see what. Like Abdi said, the pressure is going to be on Lampard if they don't get a result, but I just don't think they've got the players to get that result. Apart from Gordon, if you're not in a nice defence and you see Rondon up front, you're scared, aren't you? Really?
Hey, don't say that. Rondon FC will come after you. They're fierce.
Where do you find the Venezuelan Messi? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll say it, and Rondon will probably go and ban an hat-trick or something. But I think Forest will probably get a win. Or I hope they do. I've got Williams in my team, so. But talking about Nottingham's answer to Barcelona, buying all these players, and Steven Gerrard's in the background. I hear squeaking.
Yeah. It's the door. It's the door.
Of course. So yeah, but I know parachute payment and all that, but this money is ridiculous. Like absolute ridiculous. 40-odd million. I can't get over that. Of Morgan Gibbs White. Like, if that's, does that mean like when people that are buying players, like, well, I know we're going to come to it later, like Casemiro and Arsenal with Ben White and people like that, that must be a bargain. If Morgan Gibbs White's going for 40-odd million. So I don't know, it's crazy. But cheers, Stevie G. But then apparently, I was listening to someone from the Supporters Trust. Apparently, they want another 4 players.
What?
So,
maybe another 9.
Unless they're going for the Carabao Cup this year.
Who knows? They'll go into Europe.
Yeah,
just by that.
That's what I mean. So I don't know, but I think on the game, I think Forest will edge it. I think it'll be a decent game. 3:00 kickoff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
5 live commentary.
Should be able to listen to that before we get into the ground.
Yes, Matt. What do you think will happen in the Everton Forest?
I think all the points have been covered. Everton haven't really been able to get those goals. Everything's coming through Anthony Gordon. Obviously, rumours to him going to Chelsea. That's kind of not helping at the moment. One thing that I thought was a bit strange is they're in desperate need of a striker. And when your striker goes and injures themselves, doing something so simple as a passing drill, then you would have thought that takes priority over a defender. Like you need to get some sort of firepower in. And they failed to get someone in, which is a bit of an odd one. There's, correct me if I'm wrong, it's about 2 weeks left of the window and they haven't brought anyone in?
Yeah, Andrew, I think. Yeah.
No, maybe even 2 if you can get Rondon out the door, but it's an odd place to be at the moment for them. And I think this one's either Forest are going to hit them where it hurts even more, or Everton are going to somehow stumble to a draw. I think that's the only way I can see it going, if I'm honest.
Well, they got rid of Dele Alli. He's off to Turkey. So. After 6 months, they were like, nah.
No, you are actually.
People telling me he was one of England's best midfielders.
Well, he was funny. I was listening to the radio yesterday, and they said he started the semi-final in Euro 2018 against Croatia.
World Cup 2018. He peaked early. Yeah. He peaked very young, and then afterwards he got too big for his boots.
Afterwards,
Dele premature.
When Dele met Jose, well, there we go. Any comments before we move on?
No, the last comments were Lottie's laughing emojis and just the title, ha ha ha, same from Lottie again.
All right, we move on to the next game. And George, I believe you're going to the South Coast tomorrow.
Am I?
Are you going to the Bournemouth game?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Hello? My word.
I knew it was in the South. Geography's not my strong point. Yeah, I am going to the South Coast then.
What do you think will happen?
I
mean, pretty,
I'm hoping we'll get a win. It's game by game with Arsenal. I mean, we've started really well, but people would say we should get a win at Bournemouth. It's if we can continue to play how we played against like Crystal Palace and Leicester, I don't see why not. I think the difference with Arsenal this season, we've actually got a squad.
Mm.
So it's not like we're just banking on 11 players. So like you're seeing that people like you've got Tomiyasu, Tierney, they're not even in the team. Like so they're on the bench. Sorry about that background noise. And like we've got the first time we've had a full fit squad as well. So Smith Rowe, Vieira back, so hopefully he'll feature. So I think if Arsenal want to show what they're made of, then just nothing but a win tomorrow. Really, I predicted about 3-1. So hopefully something like that.
Abdi, what do you think is going to happen at the Vitality?
One-way traffic. I don't see Bournemouth
I don't
getting
think Bournemouth
anything
would
from
be
that.
that confident.
Yeah, Bournemouth are steamroller. No. I think Arsenal have too much
South Coast is
firepower for
red.
them. It is, but it'll be painted red in the blood of Bournemouth. Cherries are going to be popped. Not in that way, but
Always good to pop a cherry.
it is. But
In the football instance, I mean.
in that sense.
Steven Gerrard agrees.
I tell you, does Gerrard want to talk?
Can you come back to me?
Okay, well, Matt, Bournemouth Arsenal, what do you think?
It's been an odd fixture, hasn't it? There's been times where Arsenal have gone over there and steamrolled them. There's been times when Bournemouth have put a surprise in. Even the 2-2 draw when 2013, I think it was, when Giroud scored that last-minute equaliser and everyone was completely celebration police were out because we got a draw against them, even though we were 2-0 down at half-time. It was just...
Wasn't it 3-0 down and then you came back to 3-0?
Something, 2-0, 3-0, something like that. But it's going to be one of those games where you think this might be a bit of a surprise. Obviously, Scott Parker knows his this team inside and out because he's been in the Championship, but he also knows the Premier League quite well. He knows that Bournemouth will give it all they've got, but it's a case of how much or how long they can give their all for before they concede that first or second goal and then collapse. Bournemouth have done all right at the moment, but they just it's going to be interesting how their season goes. But we're only just seeing how this team can gel at the moment.
Yes, Stevie G, are you back?
I'm back, sir. I just keep getting interruptions, and it's really annoying. I need to have words. I need to have words with people. It's too much. It happens pretty much every show now. It does. Get out. No, in all seriousness, though, back to it. It pisses me off, okay?
Abdi's going to have a family meal and stuff like that.
Family meeting.
When I have a show, you need to be out there.
Get down in the family room, please.
Exactly. No, but as I was saying before I was interrupted, I do see it being one-way traffic. Shut up. I see it being... You're a prick.
No way to talk about Bournemouth like that.
No, as I said, it's going to be one-way traffic. I think Arsenal have too much for Bournemouth. Jesus, he's on a roll right now. I think he'll continue his scoring streak. Zinchenko, we'll see if he plays tomorrow or if Tierney plays. Maybe Zinchenko might drop into midfield, Tierney at fullback, because then that might be a more better Arsenal in the sense, because Tierney's probably the better fullback, but he's just shame with injuries for the Arsenal fans. But yeah, I can't say too much else than seeing Arsenal just take the 3 points and continue their perfect start. They have a very good start in terms of the fixtures that have been given. Bournemouth this week, Fulham next week, and then who's after that? Southampton? No, Villa. Yeah.
And then you.
So yeah, Well, I'm talking about the next three. We'll get to our slot soon, but I don't know. It's a good start, very good start for the Gunners.
Can I just say so for the listeners and Stephen Gerrard?
Stephen Gerrard's back.
So, has anyone ever watched A League of Their Own?
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when Abdi called me a prick, he sounded the spitting sound like a Romesh. So I'm gonna start calling Abdi Romesh from now on.
Well, right. Any comments before we move on?
No more comments at the moment.
Stevie G, do you want to add anything?
No.
Right.
No.
We move on to the next game.
Jesus.
Jesus. Yeah, I believe in him, mate.
Yeah, he's going to smash it at Bournemouth tomorrow. We've got Leeds versus Chelsea. So after Chelsea were cheated out of 2 points,
He's still not letting it go, is he?
They had to Ellen Road to face Leeds
Dirty
United,
Leeds.
who have picked up 4 points from their last 6. George, what do you think is going to happen?
The last 6.
Yes,
We've
the
only
last
played
6
two.
They got a draw
Oh,
and a win.
6 points.
Oh, that's good.
4 of the last 6 points.
What they start early?
Yeah.
I think Chelsea are going to be like a wounded animal because of where they, like you say, got cheated. Even Mike Dean come out and apologise. So
Yeah, that was a mistake on his part. He's going to get loads of abuse. I should have stayed quiet. As I put on
everything.
Twitter.
I don't know. I feel like
Sorry
I'm in
to
a
interrupt.
bad universe.
Actually, no. Yeah, no. I'll save it. Because it's for the next one. But breaking news coming. No, I'll say it now. Breaking news coming in. Man United officially announced signing of Casemiro, pending
Cool.
medical and all that. So, yeah,
Well done.
Yeah, we'll come to
There's
that
that.
after. Anyway.
we'll come to
You're
that.
doing very well.
So I don't know what kind of world I'm living in at the minute because I've heard Mike Dean apologise, and I've heard Piers Morgan say.
Was it Mike Dean?
It
Yeah.
was
Wasn't
Mike
Anthony
Dean.
Taylor?
No,
It was
Mike
Mike
Taylor.
Dean. Mike Dean, the
For what?
VAR referee, did not.
Oh,
send
was he?
Anthony
I thought he retired.
No, he's
He
on
has
VAR.
from official refereeing, but he does VAR.
No, he still can.
Well,
He can still.
shambles.
He can still
I
mess
didn't know
games
that.
up.
I didn't know that. I thought he was
No.
thingy.
Yeah, and then Piers Morgan said stuff about Arteta that was nice. I thought I can't do
Hey?
it. Yeah,
That's me.
he's proper flip flop old Piers. Tell you. Anyway, I think Chelsea will win about. I think it'll be about 3-1. Obviously they need to start winning as well. Obviously they're on 4 as well, aren't they? Chelsea.
Yep.
Man City are leading the pace away, so that if they want to have any, and
Man City and Arsenal both on 6 points. So
so we've only played 2 games.
oh, yeah, but you're both on 6 points. That's just a fact.
Yeah, but Arsenal are not going to be in. Yeah, that's as close as we're going to get to Man City.
Well, but you are for now. That's for now. That's things stand. That's
But
where you are.
on the bigger picture, you'd think like Man City obviously going to win. Man City, Liverpool, maybe Chelsea for potentially. So the more points they drop ain't really going to help. So and they should be beating teams like Leeds.
I don't. I mean,
I don't
you
think
say-
Leeds ain't played anyone really.
no. I mean, I don't personally think this team, such team, should beat such and such team exists in the Premier League these days. But yeah,
But the top teams should. It doesn't happen like that. I get that, but realistically, like I know you could say, oh, well, Chelsea should. Leeds could beat Chelsea. Yeah, they could, but realistically, on paper, Chelsea should beat Leeds. Do you not agree?
On paper, yes, but often I don't know. Well, on paper, what happens on paper what should happen on paper doesn't. That's the funny thing. I don't know. I mean,
The only problem about Chelsea is they don't have a striker until Aubameyang signs. So,
oh, great.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
Fantastic.
and they say
Pierre's coming back.
They think Ronaldo's toxic. Good luck with Aubameyang.
Wow.
Great. Another Diego Costa coffee.
Do you know what?
What? No.
Because it's
I'm
normally the
not
other
a
way
Chelsea
round.
fan, but I'm not going to have this Diego Costa slander.
It's not-
He
it's
was an
normally the other way
absolute
around.
monster for you lot.
He
was
was
a
until he
monster
started
for you
becoming
lot.
toxic.
What was he?
Listen,
Friends with Britney
listen.
Spears?
He banged in the goals for you
He
guys to
did.
win the Premier
He
League.
did. But then keep in
He
mind
was
the way he left.
disgusting. He was the kind of person you'd want fighting for you, not against you.
He was a dickhead.
So he was,
In the words
and
of
that's the thing.
Ramesh, he was a prick.
He was, yes. But if he's
love
fighting,
Costa's
if he's on your
goals.
team, you love it because he's
I-
fighting for you, not against you. It's those kind of players where when they play like the shithouses, he was a shithouse basically.
Talking
I
about
like-
Chelsea
That's what you can't like.
rejects,
I like Costa's goals. I didn't like his attitude.
Talking about
Yeah.
Chelsea rejects, apparently Williams going to Fulham.
I heard recently that he left Corinthians anyway, so he was looking to make a return. But Fulham are doing weirdness as well. But I feel like they built a decent team this
But
summer.
what it makes a change to see Arsenal rejects going to Chelsea instead of the other way around with Aubameyang. So he'll score a few, and everyone
And
will be like, but we've got Jesus, so we don't need Aubameyang.
No one needs a Aubameyang.
Yeah, you
really.
do.
No. I think, but with
So you
Chelsea,
squeeze him up and he leaves.
no. We done the sponge method on Aubameyang.
Yeah, I know. You squeezed him up.
Yeah, and then he's only all he wants now is money, so it's fine. Always sort out his new haircut.
He needs to get a tattoo remover.
Yeah, something removal.
Right. So
I think Reece James will have a good game tomorrow. Not just because I've got him, but he likes playing against Leeds, doesn't he? And Sterling's got to start scoring sooner rather than that. So tomorrow's probably better.
I think Sterling and Havertz both need to start scoring soon. Abdi, what do you think is going to happen?
With the Leeds and Chelsea game,
Yes.
it's a very interesting game to be fair. Chelsea haven't really been firing the way that you'd expect, but to be fair, they've had their last couple signings with Cucurella, Koulibaly. If they get Sterling hasn't scored yet, but eventually he will. But Leeds, I feel like I've said with Leeds, a lot of people have underestimated Leeds in terms of the signings they've made. People say, "Oh, Leeds are going to get relegated." Who knows? They might actually, but from what I've seen of them so far, they're looking pretty good. And it is still early days, and I think it's going to be a challenging game for Chelsea. Away from home, full Elland Road, not an easy place to go. Not an easy place to go.
Without their fans.
Probably yes. But yeah, no, I feel like the signings that they made complement what Jesse Marsch is trying to do at Leeds, and it's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people think. I think Chelsea might just edge it, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than people are thinking.
I think when it comes to this game, I'm hoping for a win, and I think I'm the least. I think I put for predictions. I think I put a 2-1 win to Chelsea, which I think is very realistic. So yes, that's what I'm hoping for. Sterling and Havertz need to start scoring because we need strike force. We do not need Aubameyang. So please don't.
You're getting Obama blood clot, yeah.
Right. So hopefully, hopefully we could win that and get some more points on the board.
We could always get Arnautovic. He's available.
Because on paper,
yeah, sure.
Because on paper we should be beating these teams, but as I always say, you never know what can happen in the Premier League. It's the beauty of it. It's unpredictable, but as a fan, obviously a win against good old dirty Leeds will be phenomenal. Matt, what do you think will happen?
I think it's going to be an interesting one because Leeds are estimating either a goal, 2 goals every game, or at least 1 goal against every game as well. So it's one of those ones where Chelsea winning 1-0 at the start of the season and then 2-2 last. It's kind of set up really well. I think Chelsea, on paper, they would edge it. It's just, can some of these players get on the score sheet? Whether or not Broja's going to come in and start to play as the striker and he'll be given more minutes, or not. It's difficult to say, but
He
I
come
would
on against Spurs, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably say Chelsea would just edge Leeds on this one.
Interesting. Very interesting. Any comments out before I move us on to the big one, the big game?
Unfortunately,
The
not.
big boy.
We'll move on to the.
Okay, well, I was hoping we're going to have a Liverpool fan and a Man United fan to fight it out. It has not happened. But it's fine. We have a Man United fan. We have the one, the only. We've got Abdi.
Hey,
Off you go, my
husband.
friend. I mean, dare I ask, what's going to happen? What's going to happen on Monday night under the lights?
At this point, I have no clue. I have no clue because every day is an interesting day at Man United these days. But as soon as we step onto the field, same story. It goes back to what's been happening in recent times. Will it be a smashing and a battering as a lot of people are expecting?
No.
I'd like to say no. Purely out of the fact that Liverpool haven't been firing on all cylinders as of yet. And I'd like to think that United have learned their lessons from last season in terms of losing 5-0 at home.
They lose 5-0 at home.
It was 5-0 at home, yes. So
Was you at that game?
do I think we're gonna? No, I wasn't.
Mm.
Do I think we'll win? No, I don't. I don't think we're gonna win. Do I think we can get a point? Yeah, maybe. But I don't know. I'm very conflicted at the moment. I don't see it. I don't see it at the moment. I would see us still staying rock bottom after Monday night. I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love for them to come out and show me that.
Casemiro, mate, you're fine.
Yeah, we'll get into him in a little minute. But there's a big grey cloud hanging over that game in the sense that of this what's the right word? Dismay in the fan base.
Discontent.
Discontent. I think it's a lot more than discontent.
I think
But
so.
yeah, we'll just go with that. Disgrace in the fan. No, that's not the right word. But for the owners, yes. But no, the fans are planning a protest outside the game. I don't think they're planning to get it. Yeah, I don't think they're planning to get it called off because if they do,
take Salah out.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, but no, keep Salah. I highly doubt it's going to get called off. I think it was different circumstances last year. It was more to prove a point in terms of the European Super League. And I think a lot of people could understand it, but if we do it purely based on the fact of sticking it to our owners, we're going to get points deductions and be in the minuses, which you don't want to be already. Which isn't even a thing. Yeah, exactly. But no, what was I going to say? It's been very interesting week in the sense that Sir Jim Ratcliffe has come out and said that he's interested in buying potentially a stake in Man United with a view to take full ownership. Now, I'm a very, very skeptical person at this moment in time in terms of any sort of takeover talk and any form of the Glazers selling the club and being gone from it completely. Believe me, I'd love for that to be true because those parasites and leeches need to go away. They're bleeding that club and driving it right into the ground. So if Ratcliffe can sort it out, then I'll be fully behind that. And I feel like it's a big opportunity for United fans in terms of there is a viable buyer that is interested in buying the club, who they can rally behind and sort of try and push the Glazers out and try and push Ratcliffe in. And what United have been doing over the past few days in response to that has been, I wouldn't interesting. It's been very telling. I haven't really been bought by this. So let's talk about Casemiro. Randomly, we're just linked to Casemiro now. And guess what? In the next couple of days, we've signed Casemiro for 60 million euros. A central
bargain.
defensive, a central defensive midfielder that we've been crying out for years. We've been lacking a CDM, and then they just go out and but well, here's Casemiro. It's like I'd like to feel excited, but I can't. I just feel numb at this point because of it. I don't feel
cracks.
It does. I don't feel excited about it. I'm just like, that's nice, but I can see what you're doing. And then they're going in to try and buy Anthony for 80 million euros. A bid was rejected a couple of nights ago for Anthony, 80 million euros. I don't know who's more stupid, us for offering that or Ajax for rejecting that. Because
the latter.
Probably, but still, that's an eye-watering amount of money for Anthony, an Eredivisie player. He's very talented, but ain't no way he's worth that. And then afterwards, I'm hearing today that they're planning to offer 100 million euros, which is even more crazier than before. And I'm like, where are you pulling this money from? If you had this whole time, why weren't you using it at the start of the window? You've only done this. They've only done this just so they could pacify the fans. That's all. That's every time.
That's what they have done for years.
Rinse and repeat. If the fans are not happy, we'll go buy them a new shiny toy.
Lukaku. They've done that with Fernandes. They've done that with Sancho.
Exactly.
Ronaldo.
Shiny new toy. Here you go. They'll calm down.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Hopefully, this is the hard part. Hopefully, United fans, a lot of United fans that I've seen, the level-headed ones, see it for what it is and see right through it. But I'm hoping that they can continue it and not be bought by this very hollow gesture in terms of, look, we really care about the team. We're really trying to invest. It's too little, too late. You are investing, but you're not doing it the way it needs to be done. You know, you're doing it because you're not doing it to benefit the team. You're doing it just to appease the fans. You know, you've had 17 years to try and actually get to know the fans, build a relationship with them. But from day one, there was no relationship to be built. From day one, they didn't care. From day one, they let the club just slowly, gradually fall apart. And then after Fergie left, the decline sort of nosedived and went all the way down. And I don't even know where the bottom of the barrel is anymore. I've said a couple of times, it can't get any worse. It can't get any worse. But at this point, I don't know where worse is. Where it can get better. It's going to take a while to figure that out. But does Casemiro make us a top 4 side? I highly doubt. I don't think that's going to change anything in terms of making us a top 4 team again. Does it improve us? Of course it improves us, because anytime you don't have to play McTominay in there, then you're golden. And we've been crying out for our CDM for ages, but it's not enough to just be like, here's Casemiro. We just want you gone. Just go. Your time's up. Get the money, collect the check, and leave. That's all that has to be done.
He's got to go.
He's got to go. He's got to go. I'm going to let George quickly speak. I need to do something.
Where do you want me to start? The game or actual United?
Oh, go for United and tell us about the game after.
I think obviously the talk of Radcliffe or being interested is an interesting one, but I understand obviously as a minor stake, that's you get your foot in the door, but the only way Man United are going to recover is when anything to do with the Glazers is exterminated, like nothing to do with that club. And it reminds me so like Daniel Echt with Arsenal. Like there was actual proper interest there. It didn't happen. So that's what I'd be interested to see. If Radcliffe gets rejected, will he just disappear, like go away, or will he just keep trying. So from Man United's a fan's point of view, obviously they want Radcliffe, and I get that. Casemiro, I'll say what I said in the group. He's a very, very good player. I'm seeing
60 million.
For 60 million for a 30-year-old. I don't see the project at Man United at the moment. If that was 3 or 4 years ago, then you can't argue that sort of money. He'll definitely improve Man United. I can't wait to see Fred and Casemiro.
That's the midfield partnership for Brazil, my friend. I don't know what you're talking about. They have a very good connection.
Stop getting paranoid. I won't even take the piss.
Fred's a great man as well. Fantastic
Fred
player.
and Casemiro is a lot better than Scooby-Doo.
McFred.
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
We had this conversation earlier. There's Man United fans bantering. They are on social media, so you have to but saying that teams like Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, and
every club has them.
Liverpool saying they haven't got the pull at Man United.
Twitter is a cesspool.
Yeah, I don't know.
I see it in every place, mate.
Yeah, it's every.
I wouldn't read into it, because a lot of the level-headed United fans see it for it is, and have called it out in terms of it's a good signing, but exactly it is. And as I said, it's a way to appease the fans.
Yeah, and there is fans there that'll be like, "Oh look, we bought Casemiro, blood." Yeah.
I hope they don't. I really hope they don't.
You'll see them in all the TikTok videos. Watch, like when they're like AFTV people, and I think Man United need a lot more, and I do bang on about the project probably because we've spoke about it with being an Arsenal fan. I don't see it at Man United. Like Casemiro, short term, a lot of money, same problem. Same thing as Varane, same thing with what they've done with Ronaldo. Not saying these players are shit, because they're not, but there's no long term future. Like you look at other clubs, and I don't want to keep using Arsenal. I'm trying to think of someone else. Even Chelsea, like the players they're bringing in, that Cucurella, and I know Koulibaly's not for the future, but the youngsters that Chelsea have bought.
I don't know about Chelsea in terms of their project.
Look at the youngsters they bought.
What youngsters?
So
they brought one youngster that I saw.
They bought Amari Hutchinson. They bought the young Italian kid today.
Oh yeah,
they're on the verge of bringing. There was another youngster they're bringing in. They brought in the one from Aston Villa. Can't pronounce his name.
Chickle Warmaker.
Chiquit. Here. So
Carney.
Yeah, him. So, and that's what I mean. And right, we'll go back to Arsenal, and you see Saka, Smith Rowe, Vieira. All that. There's a project. With Man United, I don't see that.
It's a mishmash with Man United. It's a mishmash at the moment, and we're still trying to figure out. I don't know. Currently, no one can really see it as of now. No one will really see it as of now, if there even is one. But I'm giving Ten Hag his chance to sort it out.
I feel safe
and try and sort it out. I do as well. Because the club have hung him out to dry in the sense that with transfers. They knew how bad last season was. They knew it.
Yeah.
And Ten Hag was in by May. He gave them targets. The kind of people he wanted. Frankie de Jong, Darwin Núñez was another one of them, and Anthony.
He headbutts people.
He headbutts people, yeah. No, but those were his three main signings. Frankie de Jong, we've been chasing him since May. Is he a Man United player? No. Darwin Núñez, we were talking to him. Is he a Man United player? No, he plays for Liverpool. But luckily, he's not playing against us. So, hey ho.
One more thing
and then Anthony, we're still trying. If we'd gone in ages ago, we'd probably be able to get him for a reasonable price.
Yeah.
It might still be a bit overpriced, but a reasonable amount of price. The same thing with Lisandro Martinez. If we'd gone in earlier, we'd have got him much cheaper than we did. We paid 56 million or however many in euros, 56 million pounds for Lisandro Martinez. If we'd done it a couple months earlier, it would have been probably 20 million cheaper, maybe 25.
And that's the point. Like, obviously from top, like, and I said, top to bottom, it's rotten to the core. The only thing that's probably positive is that there's the manager. He's a very, very good manager. But could it be too much for him? I don't know. No one can say it won't. No one can say it will, because we just have to wait and see.
No,
but like when you look at, and it isn't a dig, and it probably does feel like you're being bantered. But when you're seeing transfer targets like Arnautovic and Rabiot,
that's the funny thing. That's the funny thing. When you see those targets, they will keep targets. 9 million for Arnautovic, 15 million for Rabiot.
And I think the club.
Look at the switch. Look at the switch. Look at the switch. Yeah. The takeover stuff started coming up. 60 million euros, 80 million euros. They're bringing. Have we gone from Rabiot to Casemiro? That's a big gulf in class in terms of. Well, the team Rabiot. Who knows? Who knows?
No, and that's what I find. And I honestly think that our Arnautovic stuff come from the club. I think
it definitely did.
Someone leaked it and thought, I will see what the fans' response, and they saw.
And the fans definitely responded.
Yeah, this huge uproar, and they thought, oh no, we better not. And you're bang on with the takeover stuff, because it's happened at Arsenal last summer. I don't know if you guys remember. We had the Super League stuff. We had the protests about the Cronkies to go. Arsenal fans wanted him out. What did Arsenal do? Went and bought Ramsdale, Erdegaard, spent over 100 million, which they have not done, and they've backed it again. So the Americans...
I've got an interesting video for you to watch later. David Ormstein was talking about the structure of Arsenal, how it went from
don't send me them videos.
What? Why?
Unless it's got audio description on it.
Anyway. No, David Ormstein's talking about it. So don't worry, he'll talk.
Yeah, send it to me and I'll watch it. Big Dave. Better than Chris Wheatley. Anyway.
It talks about United at the end, but and the comparison, Cronkies and Glazers.
Well, it's a good video. There's a comparison, though, isn't there? Like, because I've always said, like, Arsenal and United, and I do think it's sad, the levels we've dropped, both as a club, to go from what we was years ago to now. Like, maybe Arsenal are on their way back, but Man United are like, I don't know. But what I was going to say quickly was, like, so you put 100 million euro in for, apparently you're going to, for Anthony.
Potentially.
That proves that the money's there. So why could they have not spent that on 3 or 4 younger players like Arsenal, what Arsenal have done, and build an actual team? It might mean you're not going to get top 4, or you might miss out on something, but you have a structure.
Exactly. Why didn't
you look at Tommy Asu at Arsenal? I know he's been injured, but there was nothing. Like, when you look at the players, like Martinelli only cost £6 million. Like them, if Man United had scouts, you'd see them sort of players.
Exactly. That's the thing with United. Whenever we see a player, I remember we'd be linked to players for very low value, and then eventually, a couple years later, we'd sign them when they blow up and become a massive name, and we pay a premium price.
Job in your club.
He would. Him and Casemiro next to each other. That midfield has gone up levels at that point.
And I don't know if Arsenal will go from that, because it's kind of quiet, and there's obviously something holding them. And maybe they think they can get him in the summer for nothing. I don't know. Deadline day deal.
Yeah,
but like 30 minutes, and this is what I mean. Like, you go through players that have been bought. Obviously, you can't change who's already, like, what you spent for them players, but 35 million gets Tielemans easily, because they want 30. So if you've got to pay, that's not a lot for a Premier League experienced midfielder, which would sort your midfield out. Then there's right back, like defender wise, that you need like a right back. You're telling me they couldn't spend 30, 40 million on a right back. You could spend 150 million, bring 3 or 4 players in. Right, you're not going to do everything in one summer, because that's not physically possible. But at least you have an idea what direction your club's going in. At the minute, to me, Casemiro is a panic buy. And what I mean by panic buy is that
we're in desperation mode. We are literally in desperation mode at the moment.
It's a good panic buy, don't get me wrong, but we don't know how Casemiro is going to do. Like, I'm not being rude, he's surrounded by a load of crap. It's do you get what? I like Casemiro. But there's got to be a reason why Real Madrid ain't bothered about letting him go.
What I've heard is with Real Madrid, I've got respect for Real Madrid in the sense that players who've stayed there for that long and given them so much, they say we respect you enough to let you make your own decision. If you want to go, we're not going to stay on your way.
As well.
No.
No, that's what they were saying. That they was
the person I've seen more realistically is Yannick Carrasco.
Yeah, have him and all. Why not? And I just think it's
We'll see.
It's a panic buy just to appease people, and it's a short term, big money, short term. Because realistically, in 3-4 years, if you don't really want Casemiro being your number one midfielder at the age of 33, 34, unless he turns out to be something like Modric or something, but I don't see that. It's different.
Who knows?
In the different leagues.
Fernandinho went up until he was 36.
Yeah.
To wheel him out. No, he'd still do a job for United if he played there.
Well, what I mean is with Fernandinho, he wasn't the main one in these last.
He was.
18 months.
Pretty much. Rodri took over towards the end, but Fernandinho was still there.
I don't know. I'm looking at it as not as a Man United fan. There's no ambition for me. They just do, and the Glazers have proved that they'll. So now, they've spent. So they could go and spend 200 million, which is realistically Man United could do in the next 2 weeks. And then, the Glazers are still there. The problem is you're never going to be successful again while the Glazers are there. And I think that's putting it straight to the point.
Yeah.
And having a minor stake, it gets your foot in the door, but you don't see the rewards of that until they're completely gone. And we was having a conversation, wasn't we?
Just cash out.
Cow.
It'll probably be 5 or 6 billion at least to buy United. It'll be more than Chelsea. Chelsea went for however much it did. They take out 100 million worth of dividends a year, maybe, or something. Take all that money in one go. Just take that lump sum, go enjoy it, have fun with it, and just stay away from United. Don't touch us ever again.
The conversation
You've ruined us enough. You've ruined us enough. Let us go. Just let us be free.
But it's like the conversation we were having with so even if you do get bought out, it has to be with someone who's got deep pockets because of the amount of debt you're in.
Exactly.
Because with the Glazers, then they've got to sort the stadium out because that's falling apart. Then the training, then the women's stuff, which obviously Matt will have an idea of because he watches WSL a lot more than probably all of us. But they're so far in the Stone Ages, probably with with the women's team. Then the youth academy, like we were saying, it's 2.5 billion before you even go to the playing squad. And
that's the thing with top youth talents. We used to have the best talents coming through, and some people used to go, I'll take you to United Academy and you'll get in there and then you can. Not now. City's there. They'll be the facilities City have. It's disgusting in terms of the quality. As much as it pains me, they've literally their owners have invested in everything.
I was listening to a podcast
to make them the best.
I was listening to a podcast and it was saying about the top. It was a thing what they've done, top youth academies. I'll just say this and I'll move on to the game. I forgot I spoke about that yet.
I do have one other thing to say quickly after.
But they were saying the top youth academies now, facility wise, you've got Chelsea was at 1, then it's Arsenal, then they were saying it was City. Man United was number 7, and I was like, wow. I remember when
United should, without being disrespectful and arrogant and all that, United should be number 1 in that.
Yeah.
With the amount of youth products that we produce, United should be number 1. Yeah. It should be state of the art. Everything. No one says state of the art anything. Before the Glazers came in, people used to go about characters saying, "Oh, state of the art this, state of the art that." After the Glazers, no one says anything.
It's a shithole now, really.
Pretty much, it's just left to rot and decay, and that's what they're doing to the club, just letting it rot and decay.
Yeah.
But I want to say on the Glazers front, when you mentioned rebuilding Old Trafford, guess what they want to do?
Rebuild
They
Old
want to
Trafford?
sell off.
Oh.
Yes, but in this not with
Would be
any
knock it
money that
down
they
or
want to do.
something.
No. They want to sell off future TV rights and all that for a lump sum of money now from an investment fund,
Like
so they can use that
Barcelona.
money. Yeah, they want to turn us into Barcelona essentially, and sell off stuff just to pay things off. I do not want to see that for us because of the state Barcelona are in. I do not want to see our club having to be pimped out just to make money, because United can make money off just the name alone. So just sell, go away. I'd love for the government or the Premier League to find something on the Glazers and strip them of United.
Even if it meant, like I've said this to other Man United fans, even if it meant that this was your option, and then most of them said, well, a couple of them said, oh no, we need players, but they're not real fans. They would. I was like, so if you had the choice, that you either get to spend 200 million or you hardly spend anything this summer, but the Glazers sell, what would it be? Like,
Glazers sell.
It has to be.
You take mid-table.
I was going to say you need the Glazers
over
out,
and the
that's
Glazers
priority.
Because then afterwards you could just hit the reset and be like, all right, we can start afresh and rebuild this club from the ground up. You know.
Even if you had someone like who had a bit of a breath, like obviously I'm not going to be a flip-flop or two-faced. I'm not a fan of the Cronkies, of Sam Kroenke. If someone said, "Oh, he could sell," I would still take that. But I think the difference is Josh Kroenke has put his money where his mouth is, and this has been building for years. And I think that's the difference. Like, Man United don't seem to have that. They don't have anyone who has a clue of how to be part of a big football club is.
Literally, we should have best in class in the positions making those decisions. The football people, like Ralph Rangnick, he was too honest for the club. Maybe he was brutally honest. He said it how it is, but he would have, in terms of building a club, he knows how to do it. He's done it. With how many clubs? He's done it with the Red Bull Group. He's done it with Schalke. I think he's done it with Hoffenheim as well. So yeah, he isn't a coach. They brought him in for the consultancy bit. The main bit was the bit that people were excited for, the job that he'd do with the new manager, not the coaching bit. That was just okay. We'll ride it out. Cool. Hopefully it works out. It didn't work out. The players were the players, and they done what they did. Their attitude was abysmal. But they just sacked him. They were just like, nah, that's enough of that. And they were just like, cool, Ten Hag, you're the scout chief, everything in charge.
That's the
so yeah, exactly. So a lot of pressure is put on him. It needs to be a proper structure. There's not a modern day structure at United at the moment. It's still old school, bless you. But yeah, I've said a lot about this.
I better
we could talk about the
game.
There is a game happening, yes.
There is a game. We literally, that's the thing. There's so much shit at United that it could literally be.
We could do a whole show on this, even a week on it.
It's similar. You remember last year, literally a year ago, we were having similar discussions about Arsenal.
We were,
and we literally have been. Yeah,
next season,
majority over half the show was about Arsenal. Maybe even 3/4 of the show. But yeah,
people can't moan now, because I remember when people used to moan, we're always talking about Arsenal. Now it's Man United take over.
Yeah.
But about the game, I think I do agree with Abdi. I don't actually think it'll be a battering. And for me, if Man United players cannot get themselves motivated for Monday night against Liverpool, and if they win, they go above Manchester United. Liverpool, sorry.
Imagine that. Imagine that.
Man United go above Man United. Then I give up. Then none of them play. No, I don't think many of those players deserve to play for Man United anyway, or wear the shirt. But I don't know. I think it could be a draw, but I wouldn't be surprised if United won. I really wouldn't, because
anything's possible with that a lot.
Liverpool ain't that great. if I'm Man City, I'm looking at Liverpool and thinking, okay, we won the title then. Because they don't look that good for me. And Man United, Liverpool, we know about that rivalry. It's not like a normal game. So the way Man United have been playing, you'd say, Liverpool can absolutely smash that. But I don't really understand that mythology, why people think Liverpool are going to smash Man United, because
It's because of last season and
but if
start
they
of this
watch them
season.
this season, they drew to Fulham and Palace. Like, no disrespect, they don't. Like, and if I had Liverpool fans saying, "Oh, but it's been a dodgy start," it's not been an hard start. Like, I don't know. Like, and it's dodgy anyway. Was you're even hearing Jurgen Klopp stand up for Man United because of that bonga horse? I don't know what's going on.
That was weird.
And I don't actually see it being a battering.
I don't think so.
Unless Salah decides to be like, I ain't done much this season already. I'm going to go and.
I think there might be less goals than we think.
If one team wins, it'll be something like a 2-1 or a 3-2. I don't think there'll be much in it. But once again, it all depends how Man United play. Personally, like, there's players there that I wouldn't start, like Maguire and that. He'd be on the bench or drop him. Firmino's fit, I see. I don't know if that means Man United should be worried, but I honestly don't know. I don't normally struggle with results with games, but this one I would not like to call. I don't think it's going to be a 4 or 5-0 again. But I don't think Liverpool have recovered with losing Mane yet. Like, I couldn't stand Mane because he was a dirty git, and he should have been in WWE amount of people he clotheslined and got away with it. But he's not been replaced in that team, and it isn't just what he done on the ball and then that partnership in the front three. It was off the ball as well. And Mane, Luis Diaz, great player, great goal, but he's not at that Sadio Mane level yet. So we just have to wait and see, don't we? But I can understand why Man United fans, some of them are apprehensive, but it's a derby. All form goes out the window in derbies.
Yes, I'd kind of be leaning towards big.
I would not be surprised if United won.
I think the biggest hammering in that game, one way or the other, will be a 2-0. I don't think there'll be many more goals than.
It all depends if Maguire though, doesn't it? Like, if Maguire does,
I think it all depends. Anything can happen. I think in that game,
the only way Liverpool batter them, and I don't Abdi and Matt might agree, is if Salah turns up.
Yeah.
If United keep Salah quiet, it could be their game. Because Salah's their only potent threat, really.
I think,
they
like
ain't
you
got
said,
no Jota, have they? I think he's still injured.
I think, like you
To
say,
be fair, their midfield isn't all that at the moment, and that's their weakest area.
Pensioners show.
It's their weakest area. They don't have Thiago. They don't have. I'm not sure if Fabinho's playing. Is he? He might be. He might not. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna be maybe Henderson, Milner, maybe Elliott. I don't know, but
James Milner
still.
Yeah.
James Milner still kicking about.
And this is what I said earlier in the season, like, or I think it was either on here or it might have been to Hubert or someone. Liverpool in the distant future may struggle because their midfield is not, and they've not done nothing to it. All right,
they're waiting. They're waiting to try and bring in Bellingham.
Yeah, but I still think they need more than that.
They would do, yeah.
But I don't know why Man United don't go for Bellingham.
Not in this current state.
No, like, but before, do you know what I mean? Like,
we tried, mate. The people, if we'd landed some of the people that we tried, Dortmund literally got in the way. Haaland and Bellingham would have been United players if it wasn't for Dortmund. And that's not even a joke. They literally would have been. Who?
Aaron Ramsey.
Maybe, but
no, he was meant to. He was having a medical, and Arsenal took him years ago.
Yeah, fair enough.
I didn't know that until I watched it the other week. But I just, like, on a serious note, like, Liverpool's midfield, if they don't win the title, that's because of their midfield, not because they've got Núñez and people. have whatever. I don't know. We don't know how Nunes is going to be. Nunes is a sitting duck now because he's shown that he reacts. So every Premier League defender,
People try to
Get in his
exploit
face.
that.
Just get in his face.
yeah, that's what
People
the
will
team talk.
exploit that, I think.
He's done the team talk for them. Just get in his face. Darwin he'll nut you. It don't matter. He might hurt you, but
Take one for the
he'll be
team.
off.
Take it for the team.
Like, you can imagine, like, I don't know if people have watched it All or Nothing stuff, but the way Mikel Arteta goes, you can imagine him. Like, in some of it, he was like, if they ain't got the ball, just effing take them out. Like, Mikel's loving that, isn't he? He's like,
I respect that. I respect that. And that's what I've been
That
crying
was
out
against
last
Man
year.
City when we played them at the Emirates.
That's why what sort of reaction I wanted from United when we went to Anfield. If we haven't got the ball, just flipping take them out. Because at that point, you were just being mugged off. So
But I would like to see what
your
more
can
is on Monday. Like, you've had some horrific performances
you and me
this
both.
season. And
It's been 2 games.
If they do not react, then I don't know what to say, to be honest.
Glazes out. That's all I have to say. Glazes out.
It has to be that, whatever. Even if Liverpool lose, it still has to be a Glazer out.
I just plead with all United fans that they don't take their foot off the gas pedal. There is an opportunity and there's a window that's open. Push, break through, and make sure that they are gone.
Even if you
don't settle. Don't settle. If you hear that they say we're going to sell the club in the next few months, in the next summer or something. No, don't buy that, because time is all they buy. Time is what they want. With time, they exactly, they count on time. They know if they just let things simmer down, they can ride it out. That's what they've done with the Super League. That's what they've done with many other things.
A bit of a funny question, but
all right.
So, if it was a choice whether the Glazers sold or you got relegated,
oh.
So if the Glazers sold and you didn't get relegated, or the Glazers stay and you get relegated,
I don't really like hypotheticals, but I do love my club, and if we did get relegated, it'd be probably one of the most painful moments in my life. But I mean, rocking about the championship, I'd wear that as a badge of honour. Away days,
away ticket.
Away days to Luton, Millwall, Charlton, Wigan, going around. That's a badge of honour. You where were you when we're in Div 2? So,
but yeah,
I'd listen. But I just want them gone. I really just want them gone.
When the Cronkies were there, I said I would take us finished. This was after we'd already finished out of Europe. I would have took a mid-table finish and Stan to go, because I felt like he was doing the same thing. Maybe I still don't feel like now. I don't even think he knows what Arsenal is or who they are. But
that's the thing, though. Your owners kind of took over full control fairly recently. Ours have been in post for 17 years.
Wants to make us better as well. Whereas with the Glazers, I don't think they give a fuck.
You have somewhat of a communication with Josh. You've actually seen him come out and speak to the fans and stuff. But Glazers, they were right one. Yeah, Joel. Oh no, that was Avram. But guess what? He showed his face out for the Brighton game for some reason, which was weird.
I bet one of them would be there at Liverpool.
No chance. They literally have to go around with They need security just to get about. They need escorts. They need to cover their heads. It's on site if they're caught in Manchester. They need to be careful. People will not hold back. Don't do that if you see them off. Monday is going to be an interesting night.
Bigger game
for one reason or for one way or another. If we get smashed, or if we don't get smashed.
It's that they're saying on TalkSport that Jason Cundy normally talks a lot of crap, but sometimes he talks a bit of sense on the sports bar. And he was saying last night with Jamie O'Clickbait that with Man United Liverpool is probably the first game for a very long time that there's a story with whatever happens.
Yeah.
So, like, if Man United win, it's a huge story because Man United are closer, are like above Liverpool. Liverpool go
Below United.
could be
1 point
7.
below United.
Well, I'm saying they could be 7 points behind City already. Then if United lose, they'll still be bottom, and the inquest still goes on. But then if it's a draw, we could be going into September, just shy of September, and Liverpool and Man United are not are like in the bottom 4, bottom 5 of the league. So whatever way
That's the thing, though. Still a very long way to go, and there's the beauty of football. There's loads of twists and turns.
We lost our first 3, didn't score 1 goal, conceded all them, but we managed to get 5th and should have got 4th.
The last time we were rock bottom of the Premier League,
You won it.
1992, 93, and we went on to it. No, there was no real proper challenges back then in terms of what Norwich finished second, I think, wasn't it, or third?
I don't know why you ever got Norwich. Good side, mate.
Shut it.
Abdi's favourite.
Most relegations in Premier League history.
Tottenham.
No, that's
No.
Nottingham Forest. Norwich.
Nottingham Forest.
I feel sorry for Nottingham Forest. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that. They've been literally out of the Premier League for as long as I've been alive. So.
Right. Well, let's. We shall see what happens there.
That's
Matt,
the first time we spoke about Man United and not had a row. So
it's the first time we had two
thing.
people.
Me and you are on the same page for the most part.
I think I just feel sorry for you now, mate. To be honest.
Yeah. That's how I got when Arsenal were down on their like. It's
I
like,
don't feel sorry
why
for
you don't really want to. Yeah, that's the thing. It's who you surround yourself with. In terms, I've said this many times.
I think they're with
no, that's fine. No, that's fine. It's literally who you surround yourself with. If you surround yourself and look at the idiots, then afterwards and the annoying people, you'll hate that fan base and you'll hate that team. Here he gets some mind sometimes as well. He can be annoying. Some days I'm just like, shut up and go away.
Not Stanford, Goldbridge.
No, but in all seriousness, it's who you're with. Like, if I'm with, as I said, I was with some uni mates, and when Arsenal were down and they're like, I just want to see them be happy, and actually enjoying watching Arsenal rather than being like it was. I don't know. It hurt a little bit. I was like, don't be sad. No, I wouldn't say it hurt. I just be, come on, guys. It felt a bit weird.
He was trying not to laugh.
No, I was. No, I genuinely, I wasn't. I just said I feel bad for you guys. But then afterwards, it's a similar thing. Tottenham never really annoyed me, and then I ran into some annoying Tottenham fans, and then I'm like, you guys are now just annoying. It literally is who you surround yourself with. If people around you,
their fan base makes me laugh. I don't know if you've heard this, but. Like, he said that they've got to be the funniest fan base. They've been in the Premier League all the 30 years and they've only won the League Cup twice.
Yeah.
Like, where did they get off? Like, they come third in a 2
at White Hart Lane, mate. That's where they get off.
No, it's actually Northumberland Avenue Park or Avenue.
Did they close White Hart Lane station?
I think so. When I as a lot of people get off at Northumberland thing now and then.
I haven't been there in a while, to be fair. So.
And they say about the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, like they're that big, they can't even name their stadium.
They have two. They have 2 stations because it gets busy.
Yeah, but they haven't done anything. So, like for example, if they I'm hearing Tottenham fans saying now they're in the title race. On what grounds? Like now, what? Because you bought a few players, like mate.
Brentford are in the title race.
Oh yeah, Aaron Hickey, even though they don't play.
Hickey dock.
Well, let's get a different opinion, shall we? Matt, what do you think will happen?
Sorry, Matt.
I nearly forgot that you were here. How are you doing?
I think
are you still awake?
That I was here. Me and Matt were both here sitting there for the last hour doing nothing.
Well, I had to wake up.
Been sitting on the seat, just enjoying the views.
I've caught up on a lot of messages from people in the last hour.
Vibes.
I had to wake up because Dan's not here, so I thought I'd just...
So anyway, Matt, what do you think will happen?
It's an interesting one. I know Abdi was saying that the last team that was bottom of the league that United went to win the league 1992, 93. Similarly, there have been teams that have gone on to not win their first 2 games of the season and then go and win the league. Last teams to do that: United, Arsenal.
When did we do that?
We did that in 70-71, so when we won the double.
Oh, man. Not in.
There's been so many teams that have done it. So it's not almost
The
like
Premier League era.
it's not like it's over.
Sunderland done it, didn't they? They were bottom of the Championship one under Roy Keane, didn't they?
Yeah, I think I was looking at Premier League only, not.
Right. Yeah, that was the only one I could think of.
There are a few that have done it. I think Blackburn might have done it when they won the league as well.
Ill. They ruined a perfectly good run. If we still had Cantona, we would have won that league. We would have won it, but the fact we
in the
lost
words of Gary Neville, this is Man United.
This is Man United.
Anyway, so when you put these teams on paper, you would think that they would be evenly matched. But I think this is more about what's needed in the next couple of weeks, transfer window wise. Obviously, Casemiro is not going to be eligible to play on Monday.
He's not even going to be there. He has his farewell on Monday. So they can have the farewell party.
He'll be back for Leicester.
Southampton.
Southampton, sorry.
Even then, you've got who
I don't think he'll start for the Southampton game, to be fair. But yeah.
So even then, on the Liverpool side, you've got who takes over from Nunez. Well, you'd have Firmino, who then comes in, and then Salah on one. Salah, Firmino, and then you're thinking of another. Who would that be? Would it be Diaz or would it be Jota? And honestly,
he's still injured. To be fair,
I would have gone with Jota, but if he's injured, then you've got no choice, and then you don't have another forward. You've already mentioned about midfield. The midfield is almost so old that they're going to need Kanes.
Do you think Henderson's a good player, don't you, mate? Like, it's one of your mates.
You're in the punchline. Say if you have Henderson in there, you might as well have a bus. The amount of times that he'll be passed backwards and sideways. It's just. You're right though, George. When you were talking about that midfield, like Harvey Elliott being the youngest in that squad is a bit of a concern. Then you've also got Curtis Jones, who's I think he's gone out at the moment. But you're looking at that squad in that midfield. That is where they need to strengthen.
Is Chamberlain still there?
Chamberlain's still there, which is also a surprise considering the other players as well. But it's just getting to the point where when this game comes around, whoever wins it, is it going to be the less two evils because you've got the 3 points over your rivals, or is it just like salt over the not rubbing salt into the wound? What's the saying? Papering over the cracks because you've still got a lot to do in the window and there's not a lot of time.
It could launch though United into a bit of form.
Yeah,
I think it'd be a bigger win. I was going to say that a bigger win for United, but then
it would be a huge win for United if that was
a draw. Probably United would be happy with a draw. I think Liverpool won't be happy with that.
Would you be happy with just the point, or would you want the 3 points to get you going and get the momentum?
Of course, I always take 3 points over Liverpool. Thank you very much. If it's on the table, I'll take it. I'll run with it. But if you told me it will be either a point or another battering, I'll obviously take the point. Yeah.
Okay, so just kind of
you'd be happier more with I think. Well,
I don't know. Listen, I don't know if we win. I feel like a lot of United fans will, the weird ones, and because every fan base have them. If we beat Liverpool, they'll be running about going, "Oh, United, I'm back. United, this, that." I feel like winning could be. I don't want to say it. It could be kind of a bad thing in terms of that sort of false sense of thing, security and all that. But then losing to Liverpool then piles on more pressure onto the Glazers as well. But I don't want United. I never want United to lose. I never want
I do think
them
you
to
would
I'd be
just keep
surprised
losing.
if you did.
I do think you winning would
It would.
be
It would.
the Glazers would be like, well, look, see, we are a good side. We haven't got to spend as much.
Just to point back, like when we went over a couple of years ago, that 8-2 thrashing, at that time, Arsenal didn't have any signings in. They were after a load of players, and it accelerated that timeline. If that thrashing did happen, I'd have a feeling that United might try and see if they could find a few more signings as soon as possible.
They're literally doing it right now. That's what they're doing now.
I think I get the comparison, but what I think that is Arsenal panicked by a bought in Park, Santos, and I think there's other
Park and Santos definitely. I think Mertesacker was definitely on his way. Arteta we were tracking the entire summer. It was only until deadline day that it officially happened.
Yeah, but the difference between us and Man United are panic buying now. So, I think Man United losing, if it's a battle in like everyone or some people think it'll be, and you never want your team to do that, but the Glazers would have a huge amount of more pressure on them.
It will, especially with what's going on Monday anyway.
Oh yeah, and with the protest as well. So obviously, Man United fans are never going to say, "I hope we lose," and any football fan says, "I hope my team loses." So
I saw that in the Oli era towards the end.
They're not for me. I'll call them out on here. You're not real fans, because you never want your team to lose. Like I can't stand Stan Kroenke, but I'd never want us to lose to get rid of them. But in the lesser of two evils, if Man United got beat convincingly, I think.
What's the question though? Do you take the short-term pain for the long-term gain?
I think so. Yeah. For me, that like, if I was in a Man United position, a fan position, whoever we play, I'd want us to win. But if we lost, I wouldn't be like devastated, because you've got the biggest signing of your club's history right now is to sell the Glazers. Literally.
Yeah, that is the here we go. That is it's done deal. That's the official announcement. That's the thing that I will be celebrating the most.
And it's hard to say.
I've heard some United fans say, "I'll celebrate it more than if we won the league or the Champions League or something." That's how massive.
You can see why they'd say that.
Newcastle with Ashley.
Yeah, literally. Well, the day they're gone, it'll be a massive party.
But you'll never hear not
the Saudis are taking over.
Yeah. Imagine.
Can we just say though,
they wanted to take over United, but
they could quite easily turn around and brought everyone under the sun, brought in the big names this summer, and instead they haven't. They've actually stuck to their guns and turned.
I think that's thanks to Eddie Howe, though. To be honest, I think if there's someone else, but with United, like it's hard to actually say it, but like if they lost to Liverpool, for most Man United fans, they're not going to want that. I'm not saying that, but like Abdi said, short pain, long-term gain.
I'm braced for impact, my friend. I am braced for impact.
Like, do you get what it's not you saying, "Oh yeah, I hope we get beat by Liverpool so the Glazers go," because that'll never happen. But there's a saying. What is it like? You take the positive out of the negative.
Yeah, there is sort of a shift that I'm sensing in terms of the media sort of calling them out as well and saying, "Look at what they're doing here and stuff." And if you can keep the media on side, and if the fan base can stay united and stop basically arguing at each other and at each other's throats.
Well, they were fighting, wasn't they, at the last game? Certain fan.
That reminds me of the Emirates as well. That happened.
I don't know about that, but I know like fan groups are just
Sky Sports.
They're divided and stuff, and they're not really unified in terms of They all want the same thing, but people have grudges against other people and that they can't put down just to sort this out. You know,
No.
When the fan base is actually united and have a coordinated attack, they can do big things. Look at the Super League protest. I know there was a couple idiots within that in terms of
But every club has
vandalizing stuff. Yeah. But with that was a coordinated attack in terms of a protest where they all literally in positions, and the motive was to get the game called off and send a statement to the world and to the Glazers, because everybody was watching at that point, and they done it. They went to the hotels, they blocked off the buses, they done everything. As long as they weren't hurting people. There were stupid people, as I said, that done stupid things, but the rest of it, they done it in a peaceful manner, but without hurting anyone. You know, and that you can't pull something off like that if you don't actually unite. Because
they should look at
a lot of
team
people,
name.
Yeah, Manchester United, not Manchester Divided. Literally, a lot of people, anytime there's like a loss or they feel frustrated, they'll say, enough is enough. We're going to go to Old Trafford and we're going to protest. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that.
They should be doing it even if you win or draw.
No, it's not even that, mate. You can't just go on Twitter and just be like, I'm going to start this and try and get it trending. You need more than that, because no one's really it's not really a coordinated thing. It's just me here, because I've seen it happen. A couple hundreds showed up, but when it's done properly, thousands can show up.
When we had 5,000 turn up last season for the Kroenke, because it was put on Twitter, and it was just after Super League stuff. So 5,000. It went on for 3-4 games, and I was like, "You got to carry on doing it. Just carry on." And maybe what went in our favour that we did lose those first 3 games. So the Kroenkes were like, "Hold on a minute, we've got to do something." Sorry, I'll rephrase that. Josh Kroenke probably said, "I've got to do something," because Stan probably eating his KFC and done it. Like when he says, "You own Arsenal." What? What's Arsenal? So,
with his cigar and he's on his ranch with his cowboy hat.
But and I just you've got to do things. You've got to do it in person. Like putting it on Twitter is easy. But I could do it. We could, as Golden Goal, we could say, "Oh, hashtag Glazer out." Start a protest. Well, that's really going to work, isn't it? Like, I'm sure the Glazers are looking on Twitter and thinking, "Oh my God, they want us out." So they do
follow the gauge. No, that's what I'm saying. But they do follow the gauge of people on social media. If there's a very high volume of negativity, they'll put out stories that try and manipulate the fan base into thinking positive. Anytime there's a negative, they'll put out a positive story to try and twist things, to spin things, and get you to calm down and stuff and think about other things. But as I said, if people are just putting on saying empty Old Trafford, it's a good idea in principle, but you're not going to get 75,000 people to just leave.
It's not going to work. I've never understood that.
Over 100 quid for your seat. You don't want to leave it.
Exactly, and people come from different countries just to watch United. They're global.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
People
have
fly
tourists that come over. They're not going to. They don't give
that sort of thing doesn't work. That sort of thing doesn't work. But when you have Manchester United Supporters Trust, the Red Army, 958, all of them, the fan groups with United, all as one collective, bringing people together, bringing the voice as a one voice, a lot more people will listen. Because they bring their own groups, they bring their people, and then you just won.
It's all your season ticket holders. That's one way it could work.
That wouldn't, because then afterwards there's just loads of people waiting to snatch them up. The waiting list for season tickets at United is mad.
I'm just gonna ask this now, because Hubert and Abdi, obviously you've got a new owner. Hubert, you've got a new owner, and have you got the fan? What do they call it? The fan support of groups where they actually do the meetings and or
not? You mean interaction with
interacting with the fans, and you're actually sitting in the board meetings with the fans. Have you got that yet, or have they just?
I've not actually seen anything about it, to be honest.
Because I know Todd Bowley wanted to bring it in.
I know he did, but I'm not sure if that's actually happened, because I've seen nothing much about it on like the Chelsea app or anything. So,
I'll find out because I know someone who's.
I need to do some
part of the
research on that,
Chelsea
see what actually
supporters
happened.
trust.
Is that a concern that the fans are not being talked to, or the?
I think it's always a concern if that is the case.
I'm taking Abdi's silence, or I don't know.
Sorry? No, sorry.
The Glazers don't talk to the fans.
I was taking your silence as like there's nothing there.
They did in like a fan forum after the Super League saying, empty promises basically saying, we do care about the club. We will invest in the stadium. We will invest in the team and all this stuff. La da 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 da. You know, we'll set up a fan share scheme, and
still waiting.
I just still waiting. A year later, a year on, still waiting for most of those things, and it's just shambles.
That's one thing I said.
You can't trust him.
He come out and apologised. Josh come out and said, "We're sorry, we made a mistake." And he has set. I know that they have set up the fan thing because a friend of mine, Dan, he does from the disability thing. He goes to board meetings with Josh and other people like Venai and that. So that is definitely there. And like the emails you get from the supporters trust, then you've got that fan interaction. So. And I think Liverpool may do it as well.
I think it's a good move to have, and I think
I definitely know them lot do it. Spurs.
You need to have fans involved, otherwise, it's to me that the key part of any football club is the fans. So to not have them involved to me,
no fans, you don't have a football club.
Well, exactly. That's what I said. The most important part of the football club are the fans, and that's what you need.
When it was behind closed doors, no fans, we noticed the difference.
Yeah.
And when the protest, like with Super League, the fans stood up and spoke, the clubs had to listen. Well, over here, not abroad.
Yeah. The volumes. There is no Super League without the English clubs.
No. Because we're the best.
Well, that's
best
there.
The best.
That debate has given all of us a lot to think about, and I'm very curious what will actually happen on the next show, depending on the result. It'll be very interesting. Like Jason Cundy said, whatever happens, we'll have a story to discuss plenty. Come our next prediction.
We could be hearing, has anyone seen Liverpool?
Who knows?
I mean, yeah, you never know. We'll have to keep an eye on.
I'll go for a Man United win because I've been doing that every weekend.
Stop it. One of these weeks you'll be right. One of these weeks.
Well, we'll close out the show, but before that, we do have some notices for you. The next prediction show will not be on a Monday because there's some
review show
happening.
The review show.
The review show, sorry, will not be happening on Monday because there's something going on and we can't do it. But
who's playing in the Championship?
I need to check that. I'm not in to check what game it is, mate. I'll get back to you. Look on our Twitter. Okay. We'll probably post about it. Nothing else is happening. So
look, just for it. Have Liverpool played on the last 2 Mondays?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
They have.
Were they Arsenal in disguise?
You Arsenal in disguise.
So yes, we will see you then. But first of all, Abdi, where can people find you on Twitter if they want to ask you United questions?
You can find me on Twitter at AABDULLAHI26 at AAbdullahi26.
Glazer out.
Glazers out. Ratcliffe in.
You should put that on your bio,
say no to Apollo. Say no to Apollo.
Why? What's wrong with Apollo Creed? I like Rocky.
No, the investment fund from New York.
That used to be the name of my taxi firm that used to take me to school with Sid.
Nice.
Yeah,
I think mine was called like
George, where can we find you on Twitter?
Sorry, who?
Clockend.
George.
You.
Oh, me. You can find me at Clockend George.
And Matt, where are you on Twitter?
I am at MattLR28.
And you can find me on Twitter at Subsonics UK. That's SUBSONIX UK. Before we close, any comments on the chat?
No, unfortunately, the last comment was Lottie right at the start of the show saying title, ha ha.
Okay. I hope you had a good show, though. Enjoyed watching. If you have any comments, please leave it in the comment section down below.
comment
Yeah.
afterwards. We'll still be interested. We'll still keep them in mind. If it's anything good, we'll mention it on future shows. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share, subscribe, tell your friends, click on the bell to receive the notifications.
Spread
You
the
want
word.
to be back for the next show. Let me tell you, whatever happens, we'll have a story. You do not want to miss the next episode and whatever else
Tuesday,
we've got coming
not
up.
Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. Tuesday. It is happening, unless you want to watch the Carabao Cup games. But
See you next
Oh,
Tuesday.
yeah.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
No.
Nothing wrong with Tranmere versus Newcastle.
no.
Yeah, okay.
Come on, Tranmere.
You can also find us on @GoldenTV on Twitter, where you can
Golden
follow
Goal
sports
TV.
news and goal alerts.
Golden TV. That's a new channel completely.
What did I say? Golden TV.
Yeah.
Golden Goal
Golden
TV.
Goal
there we go.
TV. We're
That's
there.
the
We're there.
adult
Oh.
TV channel.
No, yeah, it is.
No,
Or
we don't
actually, it
talk about
could be, if it's at Golden TV, it's all the highlights of Arsenal when they were invincible.
Of course.
No.
You should set that up on
Maybe.
your own, George, and run it as a kind of sub kind of account.
Tribute.
Yeah,
So yes,
especially
at
White
Golden
Hart
Goal
Lane. The
TV.
game
We
of
are
White
on
Hart Lane,
Facebook.
100.
We are on Discord. We're everywhere. So go and find us. There's plenty of content. That you'll get goal alert tweets as well during the games. So follow that on Monday. So yes, we will see you all.
5, Liverpool 0.
I already had.
Sorry, that pressed the wrong button.
Oh,
Sorry,
Jesus Christ.
that's my fault. Sorry.
I was just saying, I already had to do that. This man's trying to
trigger.
silence me.
Trigger.
Go on. I'm too trigger happy. Yeah.
What were you going to say?
He's
Silence.
ready to get out. He's ready to get
Well, you
out.
just-
Nah, it's fine.
Yeah, ready to
Let's
go?
go.
Okay. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Good
See you
night,
next
everybody.
Tuesday.
No, no.